Welcome to Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, a podcast for women over 50 who are done apologizing, done shrinking, and absolutely done pretending we don't know where our clitoris is.
That's right. We're Michelle and Dana, two badass, hilarious, hormone-raging women navigating the wild ride of aging with no filter, no shame, and no damn patience for bullshit.
From vaginal mysteries to dating disasters, dry spells to bold-ass reinventions, we are serving up real talk, belly laughs, and probably a little oversharing.
True. So pour a glass, put a fan in your bra, and buckle up. It's about to get
Hot in here. This is Hot Flashes and Bold Moves. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Hot Flashes and Bold Moves. Today we continue with part 2, Men Over 50, the Good, the Bad, and the Bald. Enjoy. Let's get into it. So is sex better after 50? Worse? Just different?
Exponentially better.
even with the aches and pains and you pull a muscle and because you've
Dude, so many ways to do it without any injury.
I'm kidding. I act as if I'm having sex. I'm just throwing it there. I'm faking it until I actually make it.
Let us know how that works out for you.
We're going to do a follow-up and see if Dana's gotten any sex lately.
I agree.
All right, Kevin or James?
I agree with Kevin. I think it's better. Again, it's different. So much early on, it was like the Olympics. It's like the decathlon. How many different positions and how can we, what kind of bending shape can I put you in, and what kind of things can we do there? And now it is more fun, I think, even though it's less maybe rigorous.
Nice.
James, you're
for me, I think it really depends on who you're with that makes it good.
No doubt.
Whether you're younger or middle-aged or older, as long as it's clicking,
Good point.
That's fine with me.
Good point.
That's spot on.
Yep.
It's all about chemistry. And at my age, I'm very comfortable with my partner, and she's very comfortable with me. And so therefore we can just let it out and just really enjoy ourselves with no obstructions or barriers. And when you evolve to a place like that, it's incredible.
So James, and how did y'all get there? Is that just by working on your relationship, having trust?
You just grow together. It comes together.
If you're with the right person.
If you're with the right person
together.
Yeah.
But it's more than just sex though when you're at that level. So that's what I'm trying to get at.
I mean, you can't be bashful to talk about it. In my 20s, if you will, 30s, we didn't really talk about it a lot. We didn't talk about what the other wanted. It just mechanically happened.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's a lot of emphasis on communication. And when you're just comfortable in your own skin to talk, that's when fireworks happen.
100%.
Pete, you're awfully jittery up there.
My seat is going like on this on the desk. So you see me adjusting everything. I don't know.
His chair's losing its boner. Give it.
My chair needs a Viagra.
Give your chair.
I do blush a lot. I want to ask the married man a question first. James, you have mentioned that it's hard sometimes. So
Marriage.
Now James is blushing.
Not all the time.
We have pills for that.
Lord. So that it takes work. How do you keep your marriage healthy? Because you said something that was really beautiful at the beginning. I'm still dating because you're dating your wife. So
That's not what he meant.
Yes.
He's being silly.
I took it as that y'all are still dating.
No, we still date.
No.
Oh, okay.
But you were trying to get a little side of
I thought you were being funny like Claude would be. And
I took it as that you and your wife, you still
I do
date.
hit the door now and then, but yeah, I mean, we still.
Wait, what is that? You hit the door. What does that mean?
When you're on a date, you want to be chivalrous and
Oh, I
open.
thought he said, I'm going out the back
get
door.
the door and that.
No, that's.
I was like, what do you
Oh
say?
my God.
I was like, wait a second. You
And
were
did
talking
you-
about the back door.
Did you see her jump on your shit?
I was like, what?
What? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, did you lose a bet? Did she lose a bet, or is it a special occasion? That's why you're going in the back door? Wait a second. Is this a different podcast? Hang on.
All right. Look, man, just
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it takes work. Bottom line is, communicate, be respectful. When things start getting out of hand, just stop and take some time and come back to it. Because if you don't, it's just going to just keep going and going and get worse. And just take the time and be respectful. You can work it out.
And if I may add, remember to laugh, have fun. A lot of the things that we do in our relationships are self-inflicted. Just remember to laugh, and not everything has to be so fucking serious.
And that's actually what I was going to say. Michelle and I, we laugh every day a lot.
A lot.
Y'all do.
Y'all
actually do.
Look for ways to make her laugh. And I think that is part of what makes our relationship so comfortable, is that we don't take too many things too serious. Let's be honest. If somebody's taking something too serious, it's likely me. And yet I don't hold on to things as long as I used to. I let it go, and ask for forgiveness when I've done something. So yeah, Jay, I mean, we've all said this in one way or another today, is that communication, how we communicate, and really I look at it, I come back to when I'm stuck somewhere with something that she's done or I've perceived she's done and I'm upset about it. The question that I ultimately get to is what would love do in this situation, or what's the kind thing to do here? And I refocus on that, because those are two of my highest values. And as soon as I reframe it that way, all the shittiness just evaporates. But that comes with maturity. I think that's one of the benefits that we all have now, and it's kind of what Kev was saying earlier, because we've evolved, and Pete said it too, we've evolved and we're more comfortable with ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so it's easier to let that stuff go, and to look at myself and say, what role am I playing in this, versus just blaming Michelle.
Nice.
Anybody else? Or we'll move on to another question.
You don't want me to talk about marriage.
One thing I want to add is name calling. I've seen so many relationships downhill from just when you get to the point where you raise your voice and you start name calling, it just loses all respect for each other.
Yeah. And at that point,
you need to separate not your marriage, but y'all need to separate rooms at that point.
It's often just about right fighting. All right. So
this is a big deal for us women.
This one I agree with. We think about these things a lot ourselves, and we talk about it, and just want to know if you feel the same. If you're thinking about it as much as we're thinking about it,
or if it even bothers you, or if you even notice.
Do you care about things like cellulite, wrinkles, gray hair, or do we obsess more than you actually notice?
I can tell you that I feel sorry for women from this perspective. I think that our marketing as a society has done women a massive disservice.
Agreed.
And you look at the magazines and the TV commercials. I mean, I don't have to, you know what I'm talking about. And that's unfortunate. The whole thing about makeup, that's not a big deal to me. I want the natural beauty, the real you, and I want to help encourage to remove the damage that society has done on the importance of the looks and looking perfect. And I understand women and men, we want to look good, and that's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't obsess over it. Don't get in an unhealthy state over it. And so that would be my message is, and I don't know what that balance is, but if you're stressing about it, thinking about it too much, taking up a percentage of your time, that stress is living rent free in your head. And, I say, get rid of it.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nice.
I guess I'll comment if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
It would be ridiculous for us not to, as men, accept that we're all aging, and it's just reality of where we're at. And I guess what bothers me more about the aging is going on a date with someone where you look at them and you're looking at more fake things than real things. They have the hair extension, they have the eyelashes, they have the lip injections, and then turn to myself and say, are they that insecure about how they look that they have to go through all this to feel good about themselves? And then to even turn it a little bit further, then you ask yourself, well, if she's hiding that from her, what is she going to hide from me? And it's just like, I'm not in this. Now, mammary glands are still on the books. They're fine, but
Size, sometimes,
There is a
Well, that's
sometimes size matters.
well, but to his point,
Yeah, you're right. Size does matter.
Oh my God.
Let's not kid ourselves. It does to us too.
Well, to the point though, to what he's saying about the boobs, and to go with this question, because let's just face it, the truth is, after you've had kids and you're of a certain age, your boobs are just not where they used to be. I mean, they're just not.
They're just not gonna.
And you have a little bit of fat. Some people more than others, but I've even noticed, like on really really skinny women, they have it in their belly too. So does that really bother you? I mean, is it going to bother you if they can slap you with your boob, or I mean, or do you care?
Did you really just ask that question?
Well, it's honest. There's a lot of women that are.
No, I mean, you really think it's going to bother any man that he gets slapped by a boob?
But you know what I'm saying. Like, you don't, if she comes in kicking them with their feet, is that a problem?
Flat feet with my.
Yeah.
that's how I want to go. That's how I want to go.
He was smothered to death.
She hit him with her boob. No, but in all seriousness, that is a thing. Like,
face.
yeah. Wrap them around your head. Yeah. For women, I think that is a big deal because I feel like this is unjust to us. I feel like men age for the most part better than women do.
Well, they don't have as many factors going on.
Exactly. But that's the thing for women of our age group, if you're not in a serious relationship, getting naked in front of somebody is I don't care how much liquor there's going to be. That's going to be horrifying. I'll be so excited, but the whole time I'm going to be like, oh my God, my boob is supposed to be here. My stomach too poochy. You know, do y'all care?
That comment goes both ways. I mean, both people are nervous. So, I mean, it's not like you're the only person feeling that. And I'm going to put a new layer on it is I'm sober. When's the last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's another thing you said to me. We had that conversation.
Mind going. Insecurities is popping up everywhere.
Yeah, because you got that. You don't have that uninhibited little help of the. Yeah.
That's another conversation we had on the golf course. He's like, yeah, doing it for the first time sober is sobering.
Sobering.
Nice.
So no, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care as long as you're there, right? That's what I mean. You don't care.
I think there's just when we're younger, we're maybe more superficial, and those things are more important. And the things that are important today weren't as important, then. And so I think we've evolved to a chapter of our life where our judgment of what we want in a partner are less physical and more in the heart and mind, intellectual, things like that. And having attractive bodies is icing on the cake. But I think that it's important that both people in the relationship make an effort to stay in shape.
Sure.
Don't just let yourself go, because that shows a level of respect and commitment, and that, hey, I care. I want to look good for you. But it's not the overarching requirement.
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, the icing on the cake. The foundation, the fundamental things have to be the love, the connection, the intellect, all these things we've talked about. And I think that when you have that, the physical part just takes care of itself.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
And I just had an interesting thought combined with what Pete said about the fakeness, the lip injections and the hair extensions and all that. But if something about your physical body is so concerning to you that it's creating issues for you, I think there's nothing wrong with going and having some work done to fix it so that you feel better. To me, it's not about, are you doing it so you feel better about you, or are you doing it so I'll feel better about you?
So the opposite sex.
I think if you're doing it because it makes you feel sexier, it makes you feel better, it makes you more secure or confident, great, do that. You should do that. If that's what you really need, then do that. But don't do it because you think it'll make me like you.
A man, look at her. Yeah.
That's 100% spot on. I've made that statement. It's like, do it because that's what you want to do. Don't do it for me. And anyway, I agree.
James, I thought you looked like you were trying to chime in.
So here's the old guy's take on it. Look, there's not a perfect person out there. And basically, there's going to be flaws, whether they're inside or out. You've You've got to accept yourself and take care of yourself. I mean, look, I like waking up with the same person I go to bed with. When I was younger and I'd wake up the next morning and look over, I was like, who the fuck is that? You know?
That was great. What's your name again?
And then you're trying to chew your arm off so you don't wake them up so you can sneak out.
Oh, thanks. That was great. What's your name?
But my wife used to dye her hair and she stopped. And I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
So you accept that person, and like Kevin said, you gotta be confident and positive about yourself. And if you got to go out and do a little bit of work, okay, as long as it makes you feel good.
And at this age, we need to be taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it every morning.
Yep.
What do you do every morning?
He dyes
Go to the
his
gym.
hair.
I know. I'm just kidding. He dyes his hair.
So the moral of the story is none of you look at a woman and go, she'd be really awesome if she had longer eyelashes.
Yeah.
I wish her lips were puffier.
I can tell you in my lifetime, there's been many physically beautiful women that I've had conversations with. And when they can't hold a conversation or whatever, they become physically ugly to me quickly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to say, because I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to, I guess you could reflect on Hollywood. There's all these movie stars and beautiful women, but they've been divorced 3, 4, 5 times and can't hold a relationship for whatever personal reasons. All we know is what we see in the tabloids. But the point being is there's a lot of beautiful people out there that struggle and you kind of wonder why. And it's because there's probably not the things that make the foundations that make relationships strong are clearly lacking.
Yeah.
And if you're just riding high on your looks, that's only going to last for so long.
It's
right.
And not just
foregone
because
conclusion.
you get older, and that deteriorates, but because that's not, if the foundation is on physical looks, that is a flawed foundation.
Okay. Well, that's a good point to segue into this, because speaking of dating apps and stuff like that, because really and truly, that's all you're doing. You're just looking at somebody and swiping. You don't know if this. So how, Pete or Kevin or whenever y'all were all on dating apps, and I think James said he met his wife on a dating app. What makes you pause on somebody's profile? Because we're too busy going, and I try to be kind and I try to read it, and I'm still like, so what makes you look at somebody's profile?
I'll be the shallow one here. I mean, I'm not on dating apps anymore, but it was looks. That would stop me first, and then it would be where they're at, what they're doing, if they're out doing adventures, or they have a picture of them of a selfie in the bathroom stall in the mirror. It's just like you pass on those right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, looks are the first thing that's going to attract you. Then you go into more depth. But yeah, you got to have some kind of physical attraction to start the whole thing.
So what catches somebody's eye on a dating profile? What caught y'all's eye on your woman?
This is what I think are attractive in women: their color, eye color. If they're athletic, and each person will have their own things that they're attracted to.
Yeah, women do it too. Like I watched this movie called The Materialist, and he's called a unicorn because he's 6 feet tall, good looking, has money, and he's single. And they go through,
and he has a full head of hair.
and a full head of hair.
That's not a shock, fellas.
But what I'm saying
That's
is
just part of what makes
she's a dating person, like she's a matchmaker, and you see all the women say he needs to be 6 feet tall, has money, all the because women do it too, and all the men, she's got to be in her 30s, she's got to be fit, So there's some truth to that. How do you overcome that if you're not 30 and you're a little fluffy?
Little fluffy.
I'm not looking for the 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, to Huff's point, you can't have a conversation with them. What else are you going to do when you're not in bed?
I mean,
It's
I see
over.
the
That's
appeal. We do too. Like we see the appeal in the younger man, the physical appeal. But now I'm kind of like, I wouldn't date somebody significantly younger than me.
Let me add something here. So I was on the dating apps for just a few weeks before I found what would end up being my fiance. So there were some horrible experiences of people that just grossly misrepresent themselves. And then you get wise to that formula real quick. And so once you get over that learning curve of how to cull out people who don't represent themselves, then you get better at it. You get better at screening. Of course, physical component is because you're not speaking to them. So you got two things to work with: pictures,
Right.
and then a bio write-up. That's all you have to work with, versus meeting someone, publicly,
Organically.
face to face. It's organic, right? When we found each other online, the website was called Fitness Single, which I'd never heard of before, and I was like, hey, that narrows down, what I'm looking for, and I'm going to get to what attracted her to my profile. So I had pictures in a profile like everybody else would have. But what I did is I made a very specific statement that seduced her in, and it was this. I said, I have lots of free time and can travel on a moment's notice. And that's exactly what she was looking for, unbeknownst to me. Now, I could have not put that in there. I did because it's true, and I was looking for somebody, to travel with. But for her, she was specifically looking for someone to travel with, bike and hike and pickleball, and someone who could do anything whenever, because that's the stage of her life. And a lot of the men that she had been seeing or dating, whatever, either had full-time jobs, were with kids and whatnot. And so she was looking for that very specific thing. And I just fortunately put that in there, and I didn't realize how powerful that message was. So Dana, to your point,
Lord,
my tip to you is be very specific of what you're looking for and what you're not looking for.
so it's okay to say there's a height requirement for this ride.
Yeah.
It's okay to say
That's
that.
fine.
Absolutely.
I
I don't like to
if you are not
call out a whole
6
bunch of people,
foot,
but
whatever
5'5" like
above, do not reply.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get kind of ugly on the specifics, because that will cull out a lot. Because I'm going to tell you, it's an emotional
that's
roller
absolutely
coaster
fair.
reading all this stuff and seeing all this stuff. So it's like, if you can just get rid of the people that there's never going to be a chance. I saw a lot of political things out there. If you are leaning hard left, then yes. If you are whatever, or right. The point being is that someone was being very clear. This is how I align, and don't waste your time and don't waste my time. And you can take that to a whole lot of other subject matters there.
Absolutely.
And so if you're just vague with a bunch of fluff, hey, I want to trusting this and blah, all this romantic
Long walk
stuff,
on the beach.
that's
Pina coladas.
fluff,
Yeah.
So-
I think that's really fair. And that's great advice for all y'all out there. If you're dating in this stage of life, find the app that's for you. And because there's something for everybody. I never heard of Fitness Single. Farmers only.
Yeah, farmers only.
Because city folk just don't get it. Whatever. There's something for everybody out there. So find the app that's for you and be specific about what you need and want in a human. Because again, we're past the point of wasting time and playing games.
So James, what you said, that's how you met your wife, was on a...
Yeah. So look, it was a different time. It was 20 years ago. It was yahoosingles.com. It's not even around anymore. But yeah, she had a height requirement, but I beat her down. I come out on top. She
I see what you did there.
mean, she even called me. She was on a date meeting somebody from Yahoo Singles, and I was talking to her on the phone when he showed up. Conversation. It was in Vegas.
Dog you.
PTs, and he walked up in shorts and flip-flops, and she was on the phone with me, and she's like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what this guy looks like. And I finally told her, well, maybe you ought to give me a shot.
So y'all were talking as friends first.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, she
was. He wasn't.
He was a dog on a bone.
He was working it.
she didn't care too much for my profile.
Okay.
But, I was very persistent.
Yeah. And look, as she won.
Look what she won.
You know what?
Ding, ding, ding.
I
All right, I
want to throw just one thing here.
Okay.
I think physical attraction is always going to be your first. It's kind of like what Pete said, right? It's our brains are wired to look for someone that we're physically attracted to. So I think that's always going to be whatever it is that you're looking for. That's what's going to cause you to stop, because I think our brains are wired that way. Then it's, where do you go from there, right? What's in the profile?
Right.
Are they looking at but you got to have some filter to get there, to figure out, is this somebody I'm even interested in talking to? And I just think our brains are wired to look for the physical connection or attraction first.
Kevin, are you just looking for an excuse not to get in trouble and look at other women while Michelle's around?
Shut up, Pete.
Hey, let me add something else to this. I remember that when I would, I guess find a match, first thing, don't go out on a long date.
Yeah, just coffee.
Go for a cup of coffee. Go out for just a drink. Because if things don't look good, you can finish your drink and get out of there.
Nice.
Why get through a whole meal or,
Yeah.
whatever, if this is not something you're looking for.
Great advice.
Yes.
More great advice. Fabulous. All right. I think I want to close out with this one. All things being equal, what's the biggest misconception women have about men in midlife? I stumped the panel.
Let me just jump in. Maybe that the misconception is that men at midlife are looking for young women.
A lot of them are.
That's true. That's if you see it out there.
That's true.
But a lot of them aren't.
Right.
I mean, I think I laid out a case of why that's not the direction for me as I'm looking to in the final chapters of my life. I think I stated my case on that, but I don't know what the percentage is, who knows, but I would speculate that it's less than 50% men actually want a younger women. So that would be my 2 cents.
Thank you.
And I
Anybody
think
else?
it's what we already talked about. There's got to be some attraction, but we don't care. How long did I tell you, Michelle, to let your hair go natural color before you finally listened to it and believed me that, right? We don't care about that stuff. We see the beauty, and it's a misconception to think that we're that, not superficial, but that we're looking for those physical characteristics. It's more mature than that.
Well, I think,
Thank you.
Thanks. Because I think one of the things, like, I'm not going to say the names, but some of the most beautiful Hollywood actors that are in our age group have mentioned once or twice, women should age gracefully. Really? Then why are you dating somebody 30 years younger than you if that's how you really feel?
Right.
That's a bad message for women because that is what's being put out. Kevin said earlier, it's been doing us a disservice. And it's so easy for them to be flippant up because they're like looking like, like they've been chiseled out of marble or something. And they're like, women should just age gracefully and then be married to somebody 30 years younger than them. So,
and fuck that. I'm not doing anything gracefully. I'm going out. Big and bad and loud and me.
Yeah.
Unapologetically me.
Yes, right. What was the question again?
Biggest misconception women have about men in midlife. I don't, James or Pete, if you want to throw anything on them.
I have, no idea.
No.
That's not something that I could really answer.
Okay.
Yeah, but James,
That's
you've changed yourself. You kind of reinvented yourself too, right? You got healthy and now you're like taking good care of yourself and
physically.
So through the reason I did this, I started working out when I was 55, was I saw so many people in my family die from crazy shit because they didn't take care of themselves.
Right.
And I'm not going to go through that. So I started 2 or 3 years later, as my wife saw the progression of me, she was like, hell, I better get to the gym. Now we're both going. We're both in great shape. It's something we do together. Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point I was going to make. And it's something you can do together.
Yes.
Yeah. Keeps you coupling.
Yeah.
Pete.
I would go back to your comment about a Hollywood star that's dating someone 20 or 30 years earlier, and then go to Kevin's comment about, Hollywood people. That's not reality. That's not reality at all. I don't think it's a fair assumption on yourself that you think that most men think like Hollywood people do.
Yeah.
We don't. They're just, they're, Hollywood actors, they need attention, they get attention. It's a whole different lifestyle than what we have.
For sure.
I would say that at this age, men are more real than we were.
Yeah, deeper for sure.
Yeah, we were in the past. And if we say we're going to call the next day, we probably will this time.
That never happened to me.
I'd like to share something, and this is a little off topic, but I do want to share this because it's a success story. Again, being married twice over a period of 35 years and then dating for about a year, there's something that my fiance now and I have done that I never did before. And I probably never would have done had she not brought it up. But once we dated for a few months and we knew that we were a great fit. She's a very spiritual woman, and she suggested we do daily couples devotion. So every day we have a book, and every day there's a page with just a little scripture and then a layman's term interpretation of what that means. And then there's a question like, how does this really apply to you? And we drink our coffee and we sit down, and that's how we start our day every day.
Nice.
And it turns into like a 30-minute to an hour conversation.
Oh, beautiful.
And I'm going to tell you, again, I've never done this before. I have years of not doing this. And I'm telling you, this is the most strengthening foundational exercise. And I'm now addicted to it because
Right.
it works. It's not speculatively that it works. It is rocket fuel for our relationship. And again, I'm coming from a place of never doing this, never even considered doing it. And now I share it as much as I can because it is the most ground changing experience that I've had. And when you start your day every day doing that and talking, it is impossible to have any problems swept under the rug. It's not possible. My first marriage, we were professional, sweeping under the rug, and we had things for years. But at this stage of the relationship where we're still early on it, everything's nipped in the bud. It's talked
Nice.
about. And so for the rest of the day, you're just clear headed and fresh and bonding, so every day, every morning, we start our day bonding. And
Love that.
a good marriage requires work. Any relationship, requires work. And when you put in that little bit of work every day, you're almost guaranteed for success.
Nice.
So I wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Nice.
because that
Thank
was
you.
something that was new to me, and it's been very successful.
Thank you. That's beautiful. I love that. That's for all you out there in a relationship. That's great advice too. And you talk about this a lot. And I kind of, with Pete's response as it relates to famous people, they live in a fishbowl, dude. They're a very small percentage of the world.
But to be fair, I've been single for a very long time. I was single and I was in a relationship for 10 years and then I'm single again. I've seen a lot. I've seen all those things. I see the men that are successful with women half their age. I've witnessed this. I think I'm a pretty open and even keeled person. Unless they're standing next to a truck with their belly hanging out or whatever. I'm not very judgmental because I don't want people to do that to me. So I try to be kind. So I'm not trying to stick with the famous. I'm just saying, back to Kevin's point, that the world that we live in, even though I think there's now a new movement for women to change that, I feel like it's still that way. It's still very much the physicality part for men only. To be fair,
Women do that too.
oh yeah, absolutely.
I know women that do that.
Yeah.
I was a woman that did that.
But acknowledge where that's rooted from. It's rooted from the marketing, the advertising,
Correct.
Hollywood.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
that's where it's rooted. And when you can
Yes.
be mature enough to separate that and then get down to human beings, I think you can self-correct that behavior.
And as a mother of 3 girls, it was important and critical that I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I learned to do that, to separate it, because I
Yeah.
didn't want them feeling the way
and
we grew up.
Yeah, and I raised my boys, to be a certain way around women as well.
Yeah. Do any of you have anything you would like to add to this discussion before we close her out?
I'll add one final little thought here. It's something that I learned. I think men in general, we are problem solvers. I think that's part of our DNA.
So you need a damsel in distress?
And I've learned, because I've been told, that women they don't solve.
You don't need
Exactly.
a damsel.
And so it took me a while to evolve to that, because I'm like, okay, here's the problem. It's really a simple solution. Can we just execute this and we're done?
Yeah.
And that's not what they want.
No.
And so the message is probably really more for the men, is that we don't have to solve every problem. And let the women vent and get it out. And then that solves the problem, as being a better listener.
I actually love that point, because it used to irritate me to the bejesus when I would be talking about something and he'd go, well, just do this. And I'd be like, I don't need you to solve the problem. I just need you to hear me. So I have another male friend who, he's an amazing human. He asks the question, do you need to be heard? Do you need help? Do you need a hug? And in fairness, whoever's talking to you, she needs to be able to say, I just need you to hear me. I really need a hug. She needs, again, 2 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all need to take personal responsibility for our end of the communication. And so I guess that's what I could offer to you. Heard, help, hug.
I love it. Love it.
All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much. We are ever so grateful that you did this for us. And I know it's going to be a huge hit. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about next week?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You be scientific and take your magic 8-ball, shake it up, and see what it is.
That's right. Throw some bones, some chicken bones on the table.
So, my friends, next week's episode, surprise.
That's right. You'll be as surprised as we are.
Until then, stay loud,
Stay wild,
and be unapologetically you. And remember to like us, share us, subscribe to us, download us, and whatever it takes, get it out there, share it with the world. We are on Facebook, Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, Facebook page, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple for podcasts. We're two bold, badass women with mics and opinions, but we are not doctors, therapists, or any kind of official experts. On Hot Flashes and Bold Moves, we share real talk, life lessons, and hilarious stories. But this is not medical advice. You make changes to your hormones, health routines, skincare, sex life, or anything else based on what we say, make sure to check in with a professional who knows your body better than we do. We're here to entertain and empower. So if your libido spikes, your face peels off, or your vibrator catches fire, God forbid, we love you, but it's not on us. Own your choices, use your judgment, and don't sue us.